country.
Well, I've seen photos. They also has between Russia and the Iranian and Ukraine's NATO facility.
And we are live. Once again, another week with my good friend Larry Johnson. Larry, how are you doing?
I am well. Good to be with you again, Marcelo.
It's always great to have these conversations with you, man. Today I was thinking about talking about this, three big fires, and I'm not talking about Starmer. I'm talking about the United States. Larry, we have Trump trash talking Putin. We have the US and Iran negotiations. And we had that scene with Cyril Ramaphosa on the White House. Does Trump has any idea what he's doing?
Um,
This question is probably getting old.
yeah, it is. He's certainly not operating from a strategic plan. He appears to be someone who's driven very much by emotion and lets his emotions take control. So that's why, um, at least we've seen the emotions with respect to Putin and with respect to Ramaphosa. Let's start with Ramaphosa. There is no denying that there are attacks on white farmers, and it's based on race in South Africa. And some would say turnabout is fair play, given all of the years that the white farmers targeted the black uh, civilians in and around their farms and homes. It's not genocide. That it is not genocide. It is racism, and yet Trump tried to portray it as genocide, as a way to just sort of punch back at South Africa for its role in bringing charges against Israel in the International Criminal Court for its actual bona fide genocide. So it was sort of a shameful moment. It was you can make a case that Trump was engaging with a bit of racist uh, imagery, and it wasn't fair. It wasn't if you're really serious about saying, hey, you've got this problem in South Africa, let's talk about what can we do to help you turn this around. You have that conversation in private, but to do this in public, this was designed to score political points to make Trump feel good. And it's certainly not the kind of move that a statesman would make. So, you've got that. the Now the increasingly harsh comments directed to Vladimir Putin over the last 2 days, and he just did another one today. I just saw before coming on air with you. Is just Trump is totally cut off from reality. He claimed that Putin was crazy, that there was no reason for Russia to launch 800 plus drones and 83 ballistic missiles. It targets military targets in Ukraine, throughout Ukraine, and it said nothing about the numbers at 1,400 drones that Ukraine fired into Russian territory prior to that. It was definitely a response by Russia to Ukrainian provocation. The only difference being that Russia targeted military facilities, was not targeting civilians, and went to a lot of effort to make sure that they avoided killing and wounding civilians. And we know that simply by the large number of drones and missiles launched, and the very, very, very small number of actual civilian casualties. Same can't be said for Ukraine. So within all this, Trump is pretending like Russia and Putin are doing this just for no good reason, just to shove it in his face. It's juvenile.
It's unprovoked.
Yeah, just it's ridiculous. So, Trump, if he persists in that, he's going to destroy any basis of dialogue with Russia. But Russia's, they're fed up. They've dealt with enough U.S. lies over the last 30 years, lie after lie after lie. And while they're not going to seek a direct confrontation with the United States, if it can be avoided, they're not going to cower and submit at all. They're going to do what's in their best interest. If the United States doesn't like it, too damn bad. And if the United States wants to try to do something about it, step up. So, um, we've got that going on. With respect to the peace talks with Iran, there appears to be some progress. After we talked last week, the outcome of the fifth round of talks was the Pezeshkian or Arakshi, I mean, the Iranian foreign minister, was pretty upbeat. He said, "Hey, so, we made some progress. There's some difficult things to be ironed out." And then Trump was dropping hints yesterday that they might have a deal. I hope that's the case, because otherwise Trump's painted himself again into a corner where he's vowed that he will attack Iran. And if he does, I think there's a very good chance that the United States will get its ass handed to it.
Larry, this is it's amazing. I mean, I was just reading your blog, sonar21.com, and you actually posted the tweet from Arakshi, right?
Right.
And he said it seems to be a very simple math. No nuclear bombs, we have a deal. We don't want this. We don't want nuclear bombs anyway. No enrichment of uranium, no deal. So I guess that's not so hard to get the middle term from that.
Yeah.
A middle.
It's very the problem is Israel will not accept that, and it appears that Trump is under the control of Bibi Netanyahu and the Zionists. He's going to have to break free of that. He's certainly done things that have fostered the image that he is, in fact, completely under the thumb of these Zionist thugs.
Yeah, this is the part that it puzzles me. I guess it puzzles everybody because it really sounds like. I'm not saying it's happening. It sounds like Trump is trying to distance the United States from Israel, but under the hood, we see that that's not what's happening.
Yeah, it depends on the issue and depends on the day. Um, Trump, he is um, he's sort of like the Roman god Jupiter, or Janus. I mean, Janus, which looks in two different directions, and that's Trump. You can find him on opposite sides of the fence every day on the same issue, regardless of what the issue is. Um, so this, um, what he's proving himself to be is not a reliable partner in any kind of negotiation. That anything he says, he can change in a heartbeat, in a flash, and just based upon what he's heard on the latest television. Oh, I just heard this on Fox News. May not be true, but he heard it by God, and he's going to act on it.
You mentioned this is amazing, Larry, because just yesterday I saw that a CNN correspondent, you know, said that privately. Witkoff told him that, oh, there's no deal with Hamas. And talking about Hamas now. Oh, there's no deal with Hamas. They don't listen, blah, blah, blah. And then the Israeli tweet, Twitter page, shitter page, reposted this as, maximal truth. So this is a CNN gossip. And then a state, liking it or not, it's a state, post it on X on this is true. This is the so this is barely basically pushing the narrative that this is the truth. We have to do something about it. Just after Witkoff actually posted the White House, reposted the White House, where he says that there have been some advances on talks with Hamas. How does this dynamic works, Larry? You worked many years on Open TV. Uh, how does this dynamic works on using the new or the fake new? I'm not sure. Perhaps the gossip's true, perhaps not. It's gossip. How do they use this to make politics works on their behalf?
Well, it's not, the actual report is that Hamas came out and said that they had agreed on a 10-point plan, and they had accepted a 70-day ceasefire as opposed to 90-day ceasefire. And then when the Israelis found out about it, they rejected it, said absolutely no way. And then Witkoff comes out in public and disavows what was agreed upon. So this isn't, again, this is amateur hour. How these people are doing this. This is all. Whenever you see something aired in the public like this, it lets you know that there's something else afoot. There's some other agenda being pursued. We saw that over the on was it Sunday or Saturday, the 24th, when the Washington Post published this piece by Karen DeYoung and two other female reporters, basically saying that Russia was losing the war. Now, the reason they put this out, none of the three writers had any military experience whatsoever. They're, I call it chicks on parade. It was just, you know, a bunch of, it was an estrogen show. And the fact of the matter is they're being used to apply pressure to Trump to renew aid to Ukraine because they tried to present everything as if, oh, the Russians are losing. No, if you just a little more pressure, man, they're going to collapse. I mean, we've been hearing that nonsense for 3 years, and they continue to push it. So that's the only play they got.